Coaching is a life supplement and not a substitute for medical advice. By listening, you assume full personal, psychological, and legal responsibility for any actions you take and any outcomes you may experience. Do you have a personal or relationship issue you'd like to sort out? Email us at support@liftnibbles.com.
Okay, so welcome to LIFTnibbles. I'm Maya, and I'm here with Veena. Hi, Veena.
Hi.
Thank you for joining me today. I've been coaching and counseling since 1987. Please don't do the math. It's way too many years to admit. LIFTnibbles are basically about helping people either get a mood boost or solve problems or find practical steps to have more satisfaction in their lives. I believe that our core values, the things that we desire, that's a gateway to our soul. It's a gateway to our own personal heaven. So I thought we'd give people an opportunity to see the practices, to get a chance to experience them, and maybe learn from other people's experience. So with that in mind, what can I help you feel better about today?
How about having less stress?
Stress. Okay. Can you tell me the one subject that is stressing you out the most?
I think the amount of work that I have sometimes.
A pile of work.
Yeah.
So do I understand that maybe you're looking for more balance or more space in your life?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about what you've already done for that?
I tried to balance my schedule a little bit more, but it really didn't work that much. And I guess that was the only thing.
Yeah. And when you tried to balance your schedule, what kinds of things did you try?
I tried to have some fun. I tried to spend a little bit more time with my family or have a little bit more time for myself. But every time an opportunity came for work, I just accepted it and then you just get that.
Okay, well, let's try a little game and see how it works, okay?
Okay, sure.
Okay. Well, I didn't expect to do an advanced practice today, but let's try it and see how it works.
Okay.
So the idea behind this advanced practice, I call it the namaste technique. Do you know this gesture, namaste?
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you heard, I think in Sanskrit or in Hindu, this has a particular meaning? Have you heard that?
No.
Greet someone with namaste. I heard it means the light in me acknowledges and respects the light in you. So it's a way of saying thank you. It's a way of being respectful. Now, if we take this apart, what we actually have is two hands, right? We're bringing two hands together. So on one hand, you have your work that's calling for your time. And on your other hand, you have your own needs for balance, right? And what we want to do is put these together in a win-win way that works better for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are a lot of different ways of doing that. But if you've tried to do it and failed, then I propose that the inner parts of you, like this side and that side, haven't quite found a meeting place yet. And so what happens is instead of these meeting like this, you wind up having one hand that's powering over another hand. Work, 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 and you don't get your balance, right?
Yeah.
And what we want is not power over or power under. What we want is power with, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So with that in mind, let's talk to the different aspects of you as if they're people. How's that?
Sure.
Okay, great. So let's talk to the work side. Hello, work side. Nice to meet you.
Hello.
Do you have a name?
I guess work.
Work. Okay, work. So I'm guessing that when you want Veena to accept more work, even though she wants to play, I'm guessing that there's some kind of gift that you're trying to provide her. I'm guessing that there are really good, valuable reasons that you want her to take more time at work. Tell me about that, please.
She will get more opportunities, her resume will grow more, she would have more work experience, and she will, after having some clients, she will automatically get more clients and have a better life overall.
So am I hearing that you want to support her having a better life by helping her have a more effective and productive resume, that you want her to look better in the workforce so that she can accomplish more?
Yeah.
I can see why that would be valuable to you. I mean, who in the workplace doesn't want to have more work opportunities? Who doesn't want to be able to make more money? Who doesn't want to be able to have more ease? So if Vina got all of the clients and the resume that you would like her to have, what do you hope that would give her?
At some time it will give her more money, and then she can maybe start her own business, and then kind of gets easier for her to work, maybe hire some people to do her jobs instead of her.
Am I hearing that what you want from her accomplishments then is to be able to get a position for her where she can actually have more space to herself, more time for herself, because she's hiring other people?
Yes.
That's interesting. I mean, I can hear the love in that. You want to be able to give her the lifestyle that she's dreamed of. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's really great. So now, Vina, you and I are just going to hold this in one hand, that your work side isn't really about your resume. Your work side is doing the resume so that it can give you the lifestyle that you want.
In the long run, they will meet each other, but right now they can't.
That's an interesting thought. Good. Let's talk to the play side. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, play side. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Do you have a name?
Play.
Play. Okay, Play. So obviously there are things that you really, really care about, that you want to give Vina when you're telling her, come on, we need more free time. Yeah?
Yeah.
So tell me about that.
I want to give her more opportunities to learn things outside of her work, learn some lifestyle skills, how to sometimes live as an independent. She will grow up probably, and she has to do things on her own, and she has to know the skills. But always being on work, she might not know that, and being more free time, it will give her that time to have a better communication with her social life, or having a better social life, all of that.
That's really interesting. I heard 3 things that I wouldn't have guessed. Tell me if these are right. I heard that you really like learning and you want to give her an opportunity to learn new things.
Yeah.
I heard that you care about her personal growth and you want to give her an opportunity to develop skills and grow in ways that she wouldn't otherwise.
Yes.
I also heard that you care about socializing, that you really like her social life and you want to give her a chance to have more in that department also. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's great. So in the play hand, we have learning, growth, and social life. And on the other hand, we have a desire to provide Vina with a lifestyle that she wants to be able to live. So the next thing we want to do is give these two a chance to talk to each other and come together, find their own way together. I like to sometimes think about this as the inner community. There's us in our head, and we're listening to all of these warring sides of ourselves. And it's like now we're having an inner battle, a war, right? And these two are like, no, me. And this one's like, no, me. And then this one's like, I have to have these two get along. How do we do this? And I'm exhausted. I've been trying and it didn't work out. And now I feel discouraged because I haven't found a way to have these two meet. And now I feel like we just can't. The thoughts are things, right? What we think about, we get more of. So if we think these two can't meet, then maybe part of the issue is the manager that's trying to manage these two believing, I don't know, I can't, there's no way to do it, right?
Yeah.
So now let's talk to the manager for a minute.
Okay.
Hi, manager, how are you?
Hi.
So when you say that you can't, there's just, it's not possible to have these two meet. Tell me more about that. Are you just tired, or what do you have on your...
One of them is wanting the life that Vina has desired and the life that she wants, and the life that's in long run I think she will have if she continues with work. But the other one is focusing on growth, and that's basically a complete thing, because in work she doesn't always have that personal growth. She has some aspects of it. She has some communication, she has growth her communication, but some aspects of it, like cooking in daily life, you need to know that, like a little bit at least, or washing dishes, anything. Some of those aspects are not really showing themselves, so she doesn't have enough time to learn those and be better at those. And maybe in also the long run, she will suffer because she doesn't know those.
So how has it been for you to try to get these two to meet?
We have tried many things, trying to schedule it, trying to cancel even some clients, but the work side doesn't allow us to really cancel any, and at the same time,
So you're feeling like the work side's really been dominating over the play side. Thank you. So what I just heard, Veena, is a manager that doesn't feel like it can manage. What I just heard is a manager that sounds like they're a victim to the work side. So what I want to do is just encourage the manager. Manager, I want you to hear that either working together or of your own resources by the end of this conversation, I'm committed to helping you be stronger at taking these aspects of you. They're kind of like your children that you're caring for. And I'm committed to giving you more power to navigate these children in ways that are more cooperative instead of powering one over the other. The first step for that is to recognize that we are the parent of the inner children. And so really, even though the work says, I must, it is really up to the parent to tell the children what's acceptable and what's not acceptable, right?
yes.
So part of parenting our inner community is recognizing, okay, as a parent, if you had to do, like, it's life or death, like you're on an island, you can only have one, you can't have both, which one would you choose?
Work.
So that kind of explains why the work side is dominating, right? Because the manager has a core value for that that is a priority. So now let's come back to the inner community and let's have a conversation and see if we can do a better job at having these guys meet, maybe in a little bit more flexibility.
Sure.
So the way that I like to do that is I like to call it the A plus B.
Okay.
So we've got A on one hand, we've got B on the other hand, we're going to do A plus B.
Sure.
Now, there are a lot of ways that you can ask this question. I'm just going to give you 2 examples. Okay?
Okay.
So here's one example. As the manager, how can I do A in a way that also B? How can I do A in a way that also B? So how can I have the work and accomplishment in a way that also allows me balance, learning, social time?
Maybe take works that have those skills.
That's an excellent idea. So remember that or write it down, because you've just given yourself one of 10,000 strategies to come up with a win-win that accounts for both sides in a way that doesn't make your manager crazy.
Yeah.
That was excellent. Let's see if any more ideas pop up. So I'll ask the question again and you feel into it and see what comes up. How can I have my work accomplishment in a way that also leaves me time to learn cooking or do some personal growth or have more playtime with my friends?
Maybe do multitasking.
Like what?
Like, for example, do cooking and at the same time talk to your friends, so that's less time and you can still manage your work.
That's a great idea for A plus B. So what you've done is we're respecting all the core values and we're finding creative ways to allow those things to happen together. I love that idea. What came to mind when you were talking was, when I do have social time or time to cook, I'm going to invite friends over and we're going to do recipe experiment meals. Of course, with the COVID era, you might need to do that social distancing.
Yeah.
Or do it over FaceTime with friends, over a video call like this. But now we have 3 ideas for how to honor A plus B and gives you more choice.
Yes.
Now let's give you the other. Remember I said that there were 2 ways you could ask the same A plus B question? The
Yes.
second way sounds exactly the same, except it's surprising. Sometimes it gives you more ideas, and it goes something like this. How can I do B in a way that also lets me A? How can I do B in a way that also lets me A? So in this case, our B was the play, right?
Yeah.
So how can I make playtime in a way that also gives me the accomplishment that I'm looking for toward my career?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe have a playtime and like, let's say you're like doing cooking and one of your jobs is communicating with other people and like you have customer service, maybe you can do it at the same time.
Maybe there's some way to do it at the same time. Maybe I can't see any way to do it at the same time. But just having the manager say, hey, maybe there's a way to do this at the same time, something might pop up this week or next month that you hadn't thought of, just because the manager is taking control and saying, I'm committed to honoring both of these values, both of these parts of my inner community. I'm going to parent them relentlessly. I'm relentlessly going to make sure that they are both cared for. I'm relentlessly going to make sure one doesn't bully the other. And you know what? Maybe there's some way to have the play happen at the same time that I haven't thought of yet. So I'm just going to chew on that and see what comes up. Excellent. Now you might ask this A plus B question and have what we call a crisis of imagination, right? Like, yeah. I ask myself, how do I have my career values in a way that also lets me have an opportunity to learn cooking and socialize? And maybe I'm thinking, and I really cannot think of anything. You are incredibly intelligent. You came up with 3 things right off the bat. You were like, boom, boom, boom. That was really good. But if you have a crisis of imagination, you're not lost yet. There's still something you can do. You take this A plus B question and you go ask 5 people who you admire who are living the balance that you want to live. I mean, if you don't have 5 people that you admire who live the balance that you want to live, thank goodness there's Dr. Google and the internet. So if you were going to ask a question like this on Google, something like, hey guys, I am a little confused because I'm trying to figure out how to have my work accomplishment in a way that also gives me time to learn new things and learn cooking and hang out with my friends. What do you do that works for you?
Yeah, that sounds like...
It's a good question, right?
Yeah.
Now tell me a couple places you might go on the internet to ask that question just to hear what people say.
Maybe some social sites like Hangouts and WhatsApp, and like other than that, there's a school like you can have that communication. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Excellent. So whether it's Facebook or Reddit, your group on Reddit, or whether it's your friends and family, or whether it's somebody over WhatsApp in your WhatsApp list, or whether it's somebody in your school or somebody in your community, be careful to ask the people who already have what you want. Because the people who don't will give you a lot of stuff that's not very helpful. So some people who don't have what you want will say, oh, it's not possible, Vina, give up, it's hopeless, right? So remember that the value of the advice you get is only as good as the value of if they are living what you want to live. If they're not living what you want to live, the value of the advice goes down. It may still be helpful. Somebody who's not living the life that you want to live may have really, really spectacular ideas. So you get to weigh the value of that response. If it's somebody who's living the life that you want and they give you advice, you might hear things you don't want to hear. But the value of the advice is higher because they're living where you want to be, right?
Yeah.
And so you might want to ask 2 or 3 people and just find out a couple different perspectives and see how that affects your conversation with your inner community. It might give you ideas that you hadn't thought of before.
Yay.
Well, let's see if we need to do anything more with the practice now or if we can go into our recap. So how was that for you, manager? Are there things that are still confusing or unsettled for you?
No, I think we found the ways to make them meet, and I think we can balance them.
That's great. I'm absolutely confident that if you're having the namaste conversation, and if you're not only asking yourself the namaste question, A plus B or B plus A, if you're not only asking your inner community, it'll also support your career because you're learning a skill that you'll have to do later in delegating to your teams.
Yeah.
So not only asking yourself, not only asking your inner community the A plus B question, but also asking other people the A plus B question. I'm absolutely confident that as manager, you're going to get a lot of the help and support that you need to be able to manage this team in a win-win way that brings them together rather than having them do power over.
Yep.
Good job. All right, let's talk to the play and work sides. How do you two feel?
We feel like we can meet each other in the middle and have a more interesting work.
Fantastic. What we definitely want to have you hear is that we value what you care about. We recognize the gift that you're trying to give to Vina, and we're really, really grateful for that. We really appreciate that. And the commitment with this A plus B is to make sure that you both get cared for.
Yep.
Excellent. Before we go into our recap, is there anything else, Vina, that you want to ask or add to this conversation?
No, I think everything was said.
Okay, if you were describing this practice, I called it the namaste practice, right? Yes. If you were trying to describe what we did in your own words, if you were going to try to tell a friend, I just did this practice and it was this, how would you describe the practice in your own words?
When you have two things in your life that are not meeting each other, you can have this namaste practice. So you have your two hands on namaste. When you get them apart, you have two other hands. One of the hands are gonna get one of the things that are not meeting, and then the other one. In my case, it was the work and then the play. So you want these two to meet, but they both have something in them that are making them stop meeting each other. And the actual problem is that your mind, which we call the manager, is not really thinking that they can meet each other, is thinking one of them has the more power. So by talking to each one, and then you can start saying, okay, how can I make them closer to each other and make them meet in the middle? So sometimes you have to brainstorm, asking yourself questions of how we can meet each other. This one has these options. This one has these options. How can I meet them? That will help you to make a few solutions.
That was awesome. Thank you for that recap.
No problem.
Well done. There's another practice on another video called the 10-minute manifester, and the idea is to take this conversation and break it into 10-minute chunks that you do every day. Even if it's only 3 days a week, even if it's only once a week, something that moves you closer toward the integration that you're looking for in practical, measurable ways. So for example, I might say, today, the thing that I'm going to do for 10 minutes is to ask 3 people who are living the life balance I like. I'm going to ask 3 people this question and see what they say. And that's going to be my 10-minute task for each day this week to get more ideas and information and suggestions. Then next week, my 10-minute task is to choose one of those ideas and practice it one day that week and then make a journal if it worked or it didn't work. And so what you're doing is now you're not just thinking about maybe I need balance. You're not just thinking how do I possibly get balance, but you're actually taking steps on a day-to-day basis toward that happening.
Yes.
Yeah, good. Well, now you have some ideas for how you can maybe help conversations with other people. Because we all do this, right? We all have conflicts inside ourselves and we don't know how to resolve them. And this A plus B, this namaste practice, can be really powerful at helping us when we have an inner conflict, whether it's about work or whether it's about something with friends and we're having a hard time making a decision. It also is very helpful if you ever have a fight with someone, go away from the fight and then do the A plus B. Like, what is the value that they're trying to contribute that they care about? There's a gift there. What is the gift they're trying to give, right? And then what's the gift that I'm standing up for? There's something that I care about. And then we can take these two values and bring them together, combine them into one A plus B question. How can we do one that also does the other? How can we do B in a way that also allows for A? Then we're much more powerful at coming up with win-win solutions where everybody benefits and everybody gets their needs cared for. So I'm hoping that this has helped you. On a scale from 0 to 10, to what degree do you have confidence that this will give you new options toward?
Honestly, 11 out of 10.
11 out of 10 is really great. Fantastic. Please let me know how it works. If you have questions as you're doing it, if you want some shared celebration about your accomplishments, having had this work for you, please let me know. I would love to hear about that. All right. I'm really grateful that you joined me for this. Thank you for bringing me your honesty and authenticity and your situation.
You're welcome. Thank you for helping me.
And look forward to seeing you at another episode of LIFTnibbles. So we just finished doing the Namaste practice. You've had a chance to have a taste of a lift nibble. Would you recommend it to others?
Yes, I would 100% recommend it. Totally recommend it.
Excellent. Thank you so much. How would you describe LIFTnibbles in your own words?
It helps you understand yourself more, and then it just doesn't give you the solution. By giving you some guidance, it helps you to figure out problems by yourself while you're having a little bit of fun, a little bit of conversation by someone else, which you're really having it with yourself.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Rina.
No problem.
For more LIFTnibbles, join our mailing list at liftnibbles.com. Follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/liftnibbles, or follow us on Instagram at instagram.com/liftnibbles. Today's content was made possible by generous Patreon subscribers. Get behind-the-scenes updates, free and early access content, and bonus perks when you join us at patreon.com/liftnibbles.